What is up, everyone? Welcome to another week. This week is going to be amazing. We're talking about the armor of God and deflecting Satan's lies and everything with the armor of God. And so it's going to be a really cool week. I'm really excited for this one. This first activity, what you're going to do is you're going to play 20 questions. And so you have a couple of items that are listed on there, and they're all protective items. And so you can use these in the list if you want, or you can come up with your own. But try to think of things that are protective or something that just protects you from something, okay? And play 20 questions with that with the kids, okay? The next one, you'll need some pool noodles and some painter's tape to basically, and then you'll have like painter's tape on 3 feet apart from each other, and the kids will line up across from each other. So you'll get them pairs, and then they'll be able to line up across and give a pool noodle to each pair, and then they'll hold those pool noodles across. And what you're going to do with them is you're going to instruct them to keep their dominant foot in front of the line, and then their non-dominant foot in back of the line. If they have no idea which foot is dominant or not, you can also go behind them as they're standing and then like push them a little bit, and whichever foot lands first is their dominant foot. And so you can be like, okay, whatever foot that hit the ground first, boom, that's your dominant one, so that's the one you want in front of the line. Other one goes in back. And then they're going to take the pool noodles and basically just pull and see which one can move their feet first. And the one that moves their feet first loses. The one that stands the whole time wins, okay? So that'll be kind of a fun one going on with the armor of God. And then this next one, what you're going to do is you'll have different pieces of armor, like a belt or like a shield and stuff like that. You'll be able to label them too. So you'll have these in front of the kids, and you can do this again with like maybe some tape where all the objects are in front, and then you have 2 different teams. And then what you're going to do is do some scenarios where, like cues and scenarios where from this list. And when you read off this list, you'll be able to describe one of the armor pieces. You're going to give each and every person a piece of paper. They'll rip that piece of paper into 6 different pieces of paper because there's 6 different scenarios and cues that they can go off of. Now with the pieces of paper, you can do them color coded by team, and so team A gets all blue, team B gets all red, or whatever colors you have, and then they'll be able to rip those up and then wad them into balls and throw them at whichever scenario or cue that they think it is for whichever armor piece it is. So for instance, like the first one is you wear it to remember what is true, and it is worn around your waist. Well, that one is the belt of truth. And so you'll have the belt of truth on the ground somewhere, and then that labeled, and they'll be able to throw it over to the belt of truth. And then whichever team gets the most points wins. Okay, this next one, you'll have some scenarios to go through. And with these scenarios, you'll be reading them out loud to the kids. Each kids will be in pairs of 3. So get them in pairs of 3 where they're all facing each other, and they have a little bit of space in the middle where they can put all of these down. And so each one of those teams of 3 will get one of these, and they'll all be cut out and stuff. And so they'll be able to hold them up with whichever one that they agree is the correct one. Now, when you start doing the scenarios, for instance, you think that you only need to obey your parents when they are looking, they're going to decide which armor piece goes along with that scenario and why. And so there can be multiple armor pieces for sure that apply to these scenarios. And so kind of have them defend their answer a little bit as well, but having them use their armor for the scenarios that they probably commonly come up against sometimes. Now, there may be one or two in here that your kids may be a little more sensitive to. You know your kids the best. And so just be mindful of that. Like if someone has a really hard home life or something like that, then maybe skip one of those for that kid or something like that, okay? Then what you can do is have these memory verse cards, and these will be all cut up and everything for you as well. What you'll do is you can either tape them on the back of some chairs. You have chairs behind some of the curtains and whatnot in your rooms, or you can have them just laid out kind of in a massive circle. What you're going to do is you're going to play some music, and the kids are going to walk around like musical chairs, and then they'll sit down in whatever chair once the music stops. Then you will call one of the numbers, just like all of these are numbered 1 through 12. And once you get all the way through all the numbers, and it can be random, it doesn't have to be in order, you'll call like number 1. Number 1 they'll grab the number 1 piece of paper from the back of their chair and be able to put it in the middle, and then at the end of it, they'll be able to put the whole verse together in order after you've done all 12, okay? And then this last one is just prayer. And go ahead and bring out Bibles for this. You have Bibles in your bins or in the bins near you in your room, okay? So look for the bin labeled Bibles if you don't have enough in your brown box, okay? And that'll have some extra Bibles in it. Then you'll just kind of hold those Bibles and then pray as you're holding the Bibles while also thanking God for his word, the word of truth that he has been given to us, okay? And that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for all that you guys do. The word for this week is going to be confidence, just because we're talking about confidence, all right? And that's it for this week. See you guys later.